Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with Ricotta Meatballs. That's right, ricotta spiked beef meatballs. So tender, so flavorful, so delicious. And here's how you make them. Super simple, hardly any ingredients. So I took a half an onion and I, minced it up pretty small. In a little bit of olive oil over medium heat in a saute pan, you're just going to cook those, sweat those until they're translucent, or just about. Then I put in some crushed garlic, about 3 cloves. That depends on your garlic love. All right, you can easily put more. All right, turn off the heat. There's plenty of heat in that pan and those onions to take the raw edge off the garlic. I'm going to pour those in a mixing bowl and I'm going to add 1 egg. And make sure all these ingredients you're going to see me add here are really cold. So 1 egg right out of the fridge, a cup of full fat ricotta. No skim ricotta. All right, regular ricotta, the best ricotta you can get, 1 cup of that. And you're going to whisk that in. And the reason I want that really cold is because the onions were still kind of warm. And when you make meatballs, the colder your mixture is, the better. All right, we're going to put in some seasoning, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, black pepper to taste, a lot, about 1/2 teaspoon, and a shake of cayenne. And I'm going to add 1 pound of ground beef. Now, here's where you're probably going to have an advantage. I'm using grass-fed ground beef that I get at the supermarket. It's really ground fine. I wish it wasn't ground so fine. If you're using regular supermarket ground beef, it's probably going to be even a better texture. All right, so dump that in with about a 1/4 cup packed of fresh chopped parsley. In fact, I had even a little more there, but I like parsley. Mix that in till it's just about mixed. See that? It's not quite mixed. It's about 65% mixed. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in my plain breadcrumbs, and I'm going to mix it up till it's combined. Now, usually when you're making meatballs, meatloaf, things like that, people are so worried about overmixing. And yes, you don't want to overmix on purpose, but because of the ricotta cheese in this, they come out pretty tender. So don't worry too much about overmixing. So once it comes together, I'm going to use a little sorbet scoop here because that makes nice consistent sized meatballs. Wet your fingers. You know that trick. I've showed you that before. Wet your fingers. Roll them into balls. So this 1 pound beef batch with the cup of ricotta, it's going to make about 32 of these little meatballs. In the same pan you cooked your onions in, add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil and brown those on all sides. And by the way, the person that sent me the email told me that balls don't have sides. Come on, you must have something better to do. I know balls don't have sides, but you know what I mean. Brown them on all sides. Brown them on all surfaces. Then I'm going to take a piece of paper towel. You've seen me do this in many videos. Tilt the pan, let the towel soak up all the excess oil. And then to finish, so simple. I'm going to add 1 jar, 28 ounces of tomato sauce and 1 cup of water. I'm using a nice Brilla marinara. It's my personal favorite brand. Attention FCC, I was not paid for that comment. And then simply simmer for 30 minutes on medium-low. And you're going to have some really delicious meatballs. Go ahead and give them a stir every once in a while. Like I said, the cheese really makes them moist and tender. Just really, really nice. So basic too. You want to put more stuff in there, put more stuff. But I didn't mess it up with a bunch of extra ingredients. Just simple, basic food. Anyway, I hope you give those a try. I really like this recipe. Of course you're going to throw them over some spaghetti because we're Americans and that's what we do with meatballs. Sorry, Italians. They don't mix their pasta meatballs. Why? I don't know. You think they would, catch on to how good it is. Anyway, go to check out the site. All the ingredients are there. And as always, enjoy.